Hope from April's Home, and today I thought I would film briefly a wrap up of the month of February. I had intended to film a home decor tour for Valentine's Day, but our month kind of went crazy with a very big, long ice storm here. We lost power for quite a while, and we had family come stay with us who had also lost power, but they also lost water. We are not on a well, so our water continued to work throughout the power outage. So that was really nice. So I got to spend a lot of time with my grandson. We were lucky to only lose power for a few days. Many of my friends in the surrounding rural areas lost power for 2 full weeks, and they didn't have water because they were on well or power. A lot of them do have wood heat, so they were warm, but water was definitely a challenge. So it was quite a storm here. I also want to shout out to any of my viewers from Texas. I hope you're all doing fine there. I know you guys were hit very, very hard with winter weather, and yeah, that's definitely been in my thoughts. I got a very small taste of what it's like to have the ice and the winter weather and the no power, and it would be very difficult to go on for so long without power and different resources. So I've been thinking about you and praying for Texas, and I hope everyone can get recovered from that, from all this winter weather that we've been having. It was a fuller house than I'm used to, and a lot of things got set aside because of the power outage to make room for things like candles, and of course we did our cooking outdoors on our camp stove, things like that. So it was a little bit too crazy here, and we had power outage during the time of Valentine's Day, but I thought that I would go ahead and share with you a brief clip of the things that I did leave up for Valentine's Day. I've taken down a lot of it. You will see my little table centerpiece here, as well as a belated Valentine movie night that I made the other day for my husband and I to enjoy. Since we celebrated Valentine's Day with family, we didn't get to celebrate Valentine's Day the way I had planned, so we just did it a little bit later, and we had a really fun time. So I'll share that with you, as well as clips of the Valentine decor that I've left up. The rest I've removed because I'm getting ready to decorate for St. Patrick's Day. And I'd also like to share with you some of the things that I've been reading this month. So before I do that, let's go ahead and take a look at some of the footage that I got of our ice storm, as well as our Valentine decor, as well as how I set up our fun movie night and all the fun snacks that we had. So here are those clips now. And this is how come these trees fall, because as you can see, they're just completely glazed in ice. So looks like we'll be planting another tree this year. So our winter storm is over, and it looks like all the bulbs survived really nicely. Here's some little miniature irises that have popped up this week throughout the garden. We have had a little bit of trampling from the dogs on our crocuses, but they're doing okay. We also have some pretty little narcissus popping up throughout the garden. Here's one of them. It's exciting to see signs of spring out here in the garden. So here's a look at our belated Valentine's Day celebration. You can see I've got some pretty tulips out, a few of my little Valentine decorations. I've had these little fairies for years. The candles I made for Groundhog Day. Here's some more flowers, some beautiful Gerber daisies and hydrangea, and a couple of little Valentine gnomes I needle felted years ago. And this is our Valentine movie night sort of snack bar that I've set up here. We've been enjoying during all of the ice storms and things, we have been enjoying some DVDs before our internet was back on, and we just relied on our DVD player. We watched a movie off of this Kurt Russell 4-pack, The Strongest Man in the World, which is a very funny classic. This is another one of our favorites, the North Avenue Irregulars, and the classic Freaky Friday. So we watched all those, and I think for our Valentine movie night, this is one of my husband's most favorite of the classic Disney movies, The Happiest Millionaire. This is just a wonderful, very funny, happy musical movie. It's pretty long, so we usually break it into 2 nights, but we thought we would get started tonight and see how far we can get in it on The Happiest Millionaire, and we're going to enjoy that with our Valentine snacks here. Got our favorite movie treats, Raisinets, and some licorice here, and some Swedish fish, which are my husband's favorite, a few York peppermint patties, some more of my husband's favorite snacks, the honey mustard pretzels, and some barbecue little thin crisps. And then I picked us out this really pretty cupcake to split as well with a really pretty flower in the middle. And then I popped up some popcorn there. So we've got quite a bit of wonderful snacks here for our Valentine, our belated Valentine movie night. And I'm definitely looking forward to a fun evening watching one of our favorite classics and enjoying lots of good snacks here. So that is how I've set up our Valentine movie night. So this is my little bookcase here that I showed last month, and this is how I decorated it for Valentine's Day. I have this adorable little elephant here. It says, "My Silly Valentine." I absolutely love it. This is a Bethany Lowe design, I believe, and really, really cute. This little pink vintage glass horse and cart was a find from eBay. I absolutely love it. I think that they're so cute, and I love that it was in this sort of dusty pink color, sort of like the pink depression glass. So I filled that with some conversation hearts, and I just have my little salt lamp in the back. And then here in the center, this wasn't originally here for Valentine's Day. This is a really pretty Studebaker vintage style radio in sort of this soft blush peachy pink. And I got this out during our ice storm, and it was a really wonderful thing to have on hand. We had some little dance parties with my grandson. We would tune in the radio to some fun music and dance in the evening when the lights were all out. So we lit everything up with some holiday lights and candles and things, and we had our radio to listen to, which was really, really nice. And I just love the vintage look of this, so I set it out here with my Valentine little elephant here and my little horse and cart. I will probably leave the horse and cart out through the spring because I really love it. I think it's super pretty. So that's this little area. I did have some other Valentine decorations up, but I've since taken them down. We had just so much activity here during the storms, hosting our family members who didn't have power. We didn't have power either, but we did have our gas fireplace, which kept everybody warm. And so yeah, there were a lot of people here, so it just made more sense to not have a bunch of decorations up, and that way too I'll be all cleaned up and ready to decorate for St. Patrick's Day. But I did leave my mantle up. I really love it. The little garland here, as well as the cute little figures. This little beeswax coil candle was really handy during the power outage. We used this for light, and it really was nice. You could just coil it up every time it burns up, and the nice thing is it puts itself out when it reaches the bottom. So that was really nice. I've left up the clock that I put out and the hourglass that I put up for New Year. I just like the way that it looked here. And again, I have this little sort of wool felt ball garland, and I've purchased a garland for Valentine's Day, St. Patrick's Day, Easter, and 4th of July. And I already had one for fall, so I'll be switching out our garland here for March to our St. Patrick's one anytime now. And then I got a couple other cute little figures to put up here. These are also Bethany Lowe. So this cute little girl and boy figure. I just thought that they were really adorable. So I put those up. I meant to put other little things here, but I never got to that point for Valentine's Day. It was kind of a crazy Valentine year. So those are my decorations, and I thought I would share those with you before I take them down and get ready to decorate for St. Patrick's Day. So that is how we decorated for Valentine's Day, as well as how we celebrated a belated Valentine movie night. I absolutely loved the movie we chose, The Happiest Millionaire. It is such a good movie. If you've never seen it, it's a little long and a little old-fashioned, but it's beautiful music. Very nice storyline. Wonderful music. It's just a really happy, family-friendly, fun movie that has been a favorite of my husband and mine for a long time. So I would highly suggest The Happiest Millionaire. That was our Valentine movie night movie, and we had a really fun time enjoying that movie with all of our snacks. So definitely gonna have to set up a snack board like that for a big family movie night at some point in the future. It was really fun having all the snacks out like that, watching a fun movie. So moving along to some of the books that I've been reading this month, not as many as I've wanted to. I really have a lot of reading goals for this year, and so far I haven't read as many books as I wanted to, so I've definitely got to step up my reading game in the month of March. But what I did read during February was a couple of fun mysteries here. This one is called Malice in Miniature. Let's see if you can see that. It is written by Margaret Grace, and she writes a series of cozy murder mysteries surrounded around her craft of making like dollhouse miniatures or miniature dioramas and things like that, which I love to do as a craft as well. It's something I just started dabbling in a couple of years ago. I've always collected dollhouse miniatures, but over the last couple of years I've started doing little tiny scenes and things like that. So this book caught my eye, and it was a really good read. The mystery moved along nicely. It wasn't a super predictable mystery, which I love it when they're a little bit more of a thinker. You have to actually read it and think of it. You can't just guess right away who the murderer probably is. So just a fun one all around, and also surrounding her love of miniatures and dollhouses and things like that. When I got this book, I realized that it was actually, I think I got it at a book closeouts or something like that, but it is the third in this series, and I didn't realize that. So I hunted down the first book in the series, Murder in Miniature, the first one here, and I'll be reading that next month, and I hope it's also good, and I'll have to hunt down the second one as well. I believe this one is out of print, so I had to buy a very nice, it doesn't even look red, but it is a used copy. So I'll be reading Murder in Miniature next month as well. And then this book I've only gotten halfway through. I started this during the power outage. So you can see this is an Aunt Dimity mystery. I love Aunt Dimity. I've got a lot of her books. I've read a lot of her books by Nancy Atherton. So Aunt Dimity and the Buried Treasure is the one I'm reading right now. It's really good, just like all of the Aunt Dimity mysteries. It's just a really fun series. So excited to finish that one up. So I'm working on that one. I'll probably be finished with that one soon. This one is a relatively quick read, and it was perfect to read while the power was out. I had to read during the daytime because as soon as it got too dark, even candlelight and lantern light were just not great enough. I did a little bit of reading to get to the end of a chapter by lantern light, but it was better to read during daylight so that my eyes were not being strained too much. It's amazing how much we rely on light and how different it is when the lights go out and you have to rely on natural light or lantern light. So that was really interesting. And also because I have so many books around my house, everybody was able to find books to read to entertain themselves while the power was out. We either listened to the radio, or we did some reading, or we played board games, or we chatted. So it was perfect, a perfect book to read during that time. Another book that I mentioned last month that I got started on was by Wendy Lou Lee, and it is a prairie devotional inspired by the beloved TV series Little House on the Prairie. So here's that book. I've only started the first 3 devotionals in this, but it's really nice. It reads well, it's easy to read through and do. I have a lot of Bible studies right now, so I didn't want to add anything in too heavy, and this is just right. A nice little devotional to go with a Bible verse, and I thought it was really neat that it correlated with Little House on the Prairie. So that one I'm enjoying and continuing to read. So those are the books that I've been reading in the month of February, as well as one that I'll be getting started on here at the beginning of March. And another thing that I thought I would mention real quick too, in my last video, people had mentioned wanting to see more beauty reviews or beauty content. I used to review a lot of beauty products and things like that, but in the last year or so, I've really cut down on my spending, on beauty spending, because I was just buying more than I could ever possibly use, and I didn't really like that. So I have really narrowed it down to my favorites now, my makeup collection, and I'll be sharing, hopefully in this next month, a video of my beauty favorites, the current favorites that I'm using, the different makeup products that I've been loving. But I did find a new palette that I'm really excited about. I haven't purchased a new palette in a little while. Again, I'll be sharing the palettes that I have purchased and that I am enjoying in my beauty favorites video, but I will also be taking a look at this new palette here. This is the Urban Decay Naked Wild West palette, and you can see that. And I will do a first impressions video on this here in the next couple of days, hopefully. And then at the end of the month, when I'm doing my beauty favorites, I will let you know what I think of this palette. I love the Naked palettes. The Naked 2 is one of my most used palettes, so when I saw the colors in this Wild West palette, I was really excited about that. Lots of beautiful colors that I think I'll use. It'll be a fun palette to use for the upcoming summer and spring. So I will be filming that and letting you know what I think about that, as well as my beauty favorites coming up too. So just for those people who were interested in beauty content, I will have some of that coming up. I also have recipes that I've filmed, and again, I've just been really behind in filming and editing because of the power storm. It was kind of a big disruption in the month. So I will get back on track with that. Again, I have recipes to share, other video ideas to share, our St. Patrick's decor, which hopefully I can film before St. Patrick's Day, and our grocery haul coming up tomorrow. So I hope everyone had a wonderful February. So I am looking forward to March coming up. We're going to be getting started with the gardening and all the fun things that we do in early spring. We'll be doing some spring cleaning and all of that. So I hope everyone has a good start to the month of March. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, hit subscribe for more videos from April's Home. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you later. Goodbye.